What's up, guys? We are Cars and Thrones. We're gonna be talking a little bit about cars and Game of Thrones, since it's the Game of Thrones season right now.
Final season after 2 years on hiatus, and we all know that everyone's big Game of Thrones fans, so we thought we'd combine the two.
The anticipation
is over. The wait is over.
Waiting since July of 2017.
Correct. And here we are. We all watched episode 1 last night, and we thought we would give you guys our reactions, predictions, a little recap. And let's see what happens. So right now we're in Markin's 2019 BMW X5 that he just recently got. It's a beautiful car. Markin, you want to tell us a little about the X5?
In 2019, BMW completely redesigned the new X5 with a lot of new cool features and basically a completely new look. So I was a fan of the look of the car, and I'm a tech guy, so I love all the tech in the car. And I said, I think, you know what, that's going to be my first SUV. And here we are.
Yeah, I mean, it's a gorgeous car. You have what are they calling that beautiful stick shifter? Is that like a diamond, or what's
it is called the crystal shifter knob, which is basically a add-on option.
Gotcha. Yeah, that really makes the car look just so much elegant. What's the interior like? What colors and materials are we using in here?
Inside of the car, we have the upgraded extended leather, which is called Tartufo.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they are available to view because I am currently driving right now. But we have some diamond stitching in the seats. Mm-hmm. And then comes to the exterior, I got the M package, and I also got the upgraded 21-inch wheels. So that's the way that I designed the exterior of the car.
Gotcha. And it definitely resembles a Night King blue or a Capital Motor Cars blue, if you will.
Yes.
So we're definitely.
I definitely don't mind the Night King blue theme.
Yeah, so, he's the villain, but he's definitely looking pretty good right now in terms of the status of things. He's just broken through the wall. I mean, let's recap a little bit of last season where we left off. He broke through the wall with his dragon that he got from Daenerys. Which dragon was that, Mike?
That was Viserys.
Okay, so he's got Viserys. He's on there. He's spewing blue fire everywhere, and his horde of undead is walking through right now. So that's kind of what they're dealing with down in Westeros. So let's kind of get into the first episode. Basically, episode 1 starts off with all the armies kind of marching towards Winterfell to make their stand against the Night King that is rapidly approaching. So you get to see Arya, you get to see Sansa, and most importantly, you get to see Daenerys really interact with
the Northerners,
and the Starks. It's kind of a meet the parents, if you will.
Well, also keep in mind, her father killed Ned Stark's father and brother.
Very true. So a little bit awkward.
So that's why the Northerners in general, they don't really like the Targaryens because of that situation.
Yeah, there's some bad blood there for sure. And then we also have Daenerys meeting Sansa, and Sansa kind of throwing some shade at her in terms of who's really in charge here.
Well, I will also say that the reason for the shade throwing is because just think about everything that the family has been through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
To now have another family come into their throne and basically say
you are queen.
You are queen.
And I'm sure they're not happy with Jon, vacating the throne as well when they pledged their allegiance.
Of course.
So.
They clearly made it well known that they weren't happy for that.
So
we're gonna call him King of the Knee.
King of the Knee. Yes. King of the bent knee.
Now, this episode actually had some great reunions, much anticipation reunions.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of them were the whole season coming. There was Bran Stark and Jon Snow that haven't seen each other since the second episode of the first season.
Yeah, basically.
And it took them this long. You have other great meetings. Like, I was really curious to see what was going to happen with Arya and the Hound, and Arya and Gendry.
And then also Jon and Arya, that was a big one. They haven't seen each other in 8 seasons.
Since that exact same episode as Bran, yeah.
Yep. Now, Mark and I, we talked off camera that you weren't too fond of all the mushy reunions and what do you think? Mike and I both enjoyed the sentiments and the emotional reunions.
The anticipation. 2 years.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to watch Game of Thrones. I'm obsessed, just like everyone else. And look, I understand it wasn't going to start with the Battle of the Bastards all over again, which was an amazing scene. You know, so I get it. You know, I didn't expect that type of action, but guys, come on. It's all the information that I already had.
But
you know, it was just, like John said it before. It was basically a setting of the table,
that's
right?
exactly. Every episode 1 is always a setup.
Look, I'm a big guy.
Whatever
I like
show
to
it
eat.
is.
Please don't take a long time setting the table. That's all I'm saying. And they took way too long setting this table. At this point, I'm eating the napkins. All right.
But you also have to understand, this show in general is a setup show. Season 1, season 2,
but this
season
is
3.
not. This is not just any season. This is the finale. We have, I believe, 6. Correct?
6 episodes.
There's 6
6 episodes.
yes.
One down.
So I want every episode to be a banger.
Sure.
You know, don't warm me up. You know, don't give me a napkin. I want you to put the steak in front of me. Don't even put it in a plate. Just give me the fork. You know what? Forget about it. I'll use my hands. But all the setting of the table is just,
but
you know, it was just a little too much.
I
all right,
get it.
55 minutes of setting a table.
get it.
I'm not hungry anymore.
You need some
all right?
appetizers. You need some mozzarella sticks. You need some chicken wings.
Please show me the appetizers they gave me. All right, I'm dying because I'm still starving from last night.
All right, so kind of moving on.
I hope
we have a huge CGI scene, I'm sure a huge budgeted scene with the dragon riders, Daenerys and Jon. Jon kind of realizes that he is able to ride a dragon, and kind of have a How to Train Your Dragon moment there.
I think that was one of my favorite scenes. I mean, from the very beginning, well, not from the very beginning, but from when people started to assume that Jon Snow was a Targaryen till when they announced it, it was inevitable that he was going to be a dragon rider.
So they get off their magical dragon ride.
Well, you know what? Even before the magical dragon ride starts, you know, I'm questioning, you know, how is it that she is technically in some way insinuating I'm forcing you on this dragon?
That is actually a good point.
How do you know that he's going to be able to ride this dragon? And then at the same time, what about if he does fall off the dragon?
Yeah,
what are you going to catch him with the dragon's mouth?
I don't know, man. You've seen how to train a dragon.
And you know what? She has no idea that he's a Targaryen.
No idea.
No, but if you look at previous episodes and previous seasons, you can see that the dragon's kind of taking a liking to him.
They're comfortable around him.
There's a connection.
Sure.
You know, she doesn't know that he's a Targaryen, but she can definitely see that there's some sort of connection there.
You know what? Having a connection, touching a dragon's nose, it's completely different than riding a dragon, you know, and going off in Winterfell. So
once Jon gets off the dragon, he makes a funny remark. He kind of says that the dragon's now ruined horses for him. So that's a good parallel between that and maybe your first car. Or driving car.
I'll be honest with you.
So before you get into it, what car kind of ruined your previous car for you?
Well, I used to have an Audi S4, and when I drove the Audi S4, I became obsessed with speed. So then I felt like that ruined speed in a sense for me because of the sound of the engine. Then after that, I went into a Volvo, and Volvo, set a different tone when it came to luxury, because the new Volvos, the S90, actually had a significant amount of luxury, even though people will say it's a Volvo. So then I guess I've gotten a little older, and I've become accustomed and a big fan of just a comfortable ride. So when I came into the X5, I knew that I was going to get luxury and that was going to be more than enough for me. But now that I'm in an SUV, I don't think I can ride a horse anymore, which is considered a sedan. You're just higher, and the luxury feel. I'm a tall guy, so I would say they kind of ruined that on that end. So I would say, when you go from a sedan to an SUV, and you're not an insane multiple car guy, then it kind of ruins that for you.
Gotcha. What about you, Mike?
So I used to have the Nissan Altima, and I liked it. I think the technology in the car at the time it had everything I need. But when I moved into my BMW, my 330, it was a whole different feel between the power, the engine, compared to what it was before. Now, keep in mind, this car is not a V6, like big, strong power, V8. But compared to what I had before, now the luxury items that this offers now and the comfortability of the car, it's something completely different.
Let's jump to the north, where we find out where Tormund and Beric and the rest of those guys that narrowly escaped the wall and its demolishment they're kind of playing catch up to the Night King and the army. They're in one of the castles that are farther toward the north. Mike, do you know what castle that was?
No, I don't really think they indicated what castle that was in the show.
But earlier they sent a little boy to go kind of rally his own troops, because apparently he's,
Lord Umber, yeah.
Lord Umber, he's like 8 years old and he's running things over there apparently. So he goes out there to gather his troops, and when Tormund and those guys find them.
Is this a new house, by the way? Because I don't remember.
No. So Lord Umber was one of the his parents were one of the ones that sided with Ramsay Bolton.
Yes.
And when they retook it, they, all of them died, and instead of completely killing off the house, they said, let's restart again with the children.
Yeah, so we got the 8-year-old running around here running things, and he goes to rally his troops. Meanwhile, Tormund and the other Night's Watch that are also made it out, they get there, and things are not going well for that little 8-year-old.
Yeah, they kind of find him anchored to the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and blue eyes apparently.
Yeah, and he's got turned by the Night King. So.
He gives off that screech, that typical white screech.
Yeah.
The one that all the dead, the one that came back from the dead started doing the.
And I believe this is one of the symbols that they use on the first episode.
So I was going to ask you about
It's literally the first scene of the first episode of the show.
Mm.
The two guys that were dead. There were 3 guys that went in the woods, 2 guys
with
that
different
were
body
dead.
parts.
Yeah, so they laid it around in different body parts, and you can see that that symbol showing up throughout the entire
Well,
series.
has that symbol been on the tree that created the...
No, so here's what it is.
Created the Night King?
Actually, the Children of the Forest
Correct.
had the symbol when they created the Night King.
Okay.
It was there. So I think that symbol has to closely relate to the Night King. Well, honestly, I'm actually very surprised that it took Sam and Jon that long to reunite.
Well, yeah, when was the last time they saw each other?
When
ago.
he sent Sam to the Citadel to learn, he was still the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
What season was that? I feel like that was a long time
Okay,
ago.
so he died at the end of season 5. So it must have been sometime in season 5.
Okay, that makes sense. And obviously, Sam has some pretty big news to break to Mr. Snow, that he is in fact a Targaryen, and not a bastard, but the rightful heir to the throne. So obviously, Jon has some questions. What did you guys think about that whole?
Well, to begin with, you can already see he didn't want it.
Do you think he didn't want it, or he didn't believe it?
Well,
Isn't it amazing how right away his reaction was, my father was lying to me my entire life?
True.
yeah, well, it wasn't just that. I mean, his reaction was, my father was an honest man. There's no way he can be lying.
Exactly.
And then Sam was the one that had to point out to him, no, he promised his sister, Lyanna, that he will make sure no harm.
Correct.
So, that overtook.
Yeah, it was something that he would do.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Because if Robert found out that he was a Targaryen, that's it. He would have died.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that was obviously something that we already knew as viewers, but that was the first time Jon was finding that out and discovering his true lineage. So that was big. Last thing that happened, that was probably one of the better moments how to end the episode is Jaime kind of waltzing into Winterfell, with the kind of incognito look, with the dyed hair and just kind of with the hood
beard,
and kind of playing it low key. But then who does he see immediately?
The young man he tried to kill.
The
in
young
the
man
first
he
couple
tried to
episodes.
kill, Bronn, who is grilling him from his little his little wheelchair there.
It was like a stare of death,
Yeah, and
A stare of a crow.
stare of the whatever, yeah.
the Raven.
The Raven.
The Raven. The
Yeah.
Raven stare.
So, and then Jaime kind of, halfway through that stare realizes, oh yeah, I pushed him off that tower that one time.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd see you again. So that was definitely an interesting moment. What do you guys think is going to happen, with Jaime's character going forward?
I think Jaime obviously has switched sides. I will say that if you pay attention, which I feel like all viewers do in Game of Thrones, how can you not? You will see that he always had a soft side to him.
Mm-hmm.
And, here and there, certain moments would bring them out.
Mm-hmm.
And, him seeing his sister, go this route once again of breaking her word, even though it means the survival of her people, is really what has pushed him over the edge. So,
I mean, in general, Jaime has a moral arc. You can see over the course of the seasons how he changed, how he's going from the cold-heartedness that he was to slowly, as Markin mentioned, starting having those more human moments.
Definitely. I think. All right, guys. So that was our kind of our recap of episode 1. You guys have predictions for episode 2? What's gonna happen? Do we see any fight scenes? Do we see
Unfortunately,
anybody dying?
I just see the table still being set.
Okay.
And I'm excited to see the next episode, of course.
But we know you're a big fan of setting tables, so.
Yeah, so of course, I love eating, and once again, we're gonna set another table to get ready for episode 3, because I think that's where the action is coming.
Episode 3 is definitely where the action is going to be.
Yeah.
That's going to be the big White Walker battle.
Okay. Do you think they're gonna
I think what's going to happen with episode 2 is first they're going to start dealing with Jaime Lannister just showing up there.
Yep.
They don't know what to do with him.
Correct.
And then towards the end of the episode, then you'll start to see like the setup to, oh, here comes the White Walkers. Let's get ourselves ready.
Yep.
Let's prep. Let's prep, exactly.
They walk so fast. They're gonna.
They are.
They're gonna get there in no time.
They're doing 6-minute miles.
Yeah.
And flying on dragons. So,
6-minute miles. White Walker.
All right, guys, we're back at the office. So that was episode 1 of Cars and Thrones. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week.
We will
Peace,
tune
guys.
in next week to see how good our predictions were.
Yes, and how wrong or right Mike was. Bye, guys.
We know I'm right. Table's being set.